HYB or HYBE and BTS have been getting a lot of criticisms and hate after they announced that they're going to come out with NFTs. People are claiming that it's not healthy to the environment, it's very damaging to the environment, and it goes against the campaign that they have with the United Nations. Now, that is inaccurate. So these claims are really made by people who really don't understand the technology. They just like hating, they just like criticizing. Don't be a part of that mob, don't be a part of that group. First, try to understand what NFTs are. I'll try to explain it in this video. I did create another video before explaining what tokenization is and touched a little bit on NFTs, but in this video I'm going to discuss it further, and I'll try to do it in the simplest way that I can. I'll try to translate it in layman's terms. So let's get to it. Blockchain before anything else, I would like to make a disclaimer. I do work for a cryptocurrency company, a crypto exchange, and I do own some cryptocurrencies. So first that. Now, for us to understand what NFTs are, we need to understand what a blockchain is. A blockchain is a chain of blocks. It's actually an immutable ledger, okay? Think of that, think of a blockchain as a ledger, but it's digital, but it functions, it has the same functions as a traditional ledger. Immutable means you cannot change it. Actually, you can, okay? But the computing power that it requires to change a blockchain does not exist yet. Okay, it doesn't exist yet. It might in the future, but it doesn't exist yet. And there are also things that were set so that you cannot change a block. All right. Think of, as I've said, a blockchain is a chain of blocks. So think of a block as a page in a ledger, right? So one block is equals to one ledger. So just like a ledger, when it's full, like the page is full, then you go to the next page. The same with blockchain. If one block is filled with transactions, then you go to the next block. All right. Now, there's a lot of things you can do in a blockchain. The same way there's a lot of things you can do in a ledger. A ledger is usually used for bookkeeping. So if there's like profit and loss, right? Or you can do like bookkeeping of a store. If you have a mini store, then you can record your inventory or the expenses and the revenue and stuff, and then at the end of the page or at the end of the day or at the end of the week or year, then you see your profit and loss. How much did you spend? How much did you earn? Okay, now you can do that in a blockchain. You can record your transactions, but there's a lot more you can do. You can also keep medical records of people. You can use it for inventory. You can use it for voting. And the benefit of what you're getting is that once it's there, you cannot change it. It will forever be there. So 100 years down the road, for example, or let's just say 15 years down the road. Let's say I bought a car, and for some reason somebody got that car, or someone stole it and sold it to somebody else. Now that person is trying to register that car under his name, or is driving it or whatever. Now if I see it, I can easily claim that is not yours, that is my car, because based on the blockchain, which you cannot change, back 2 years ago I bought it, I paid for it, and never sold it, and you will see that in the blockchain. All right, now a blockchain is decentralized, right? So for example, the database of a hospital, like all the records, the medical records, the financial records that they have, it is being held in a database that it is owned or operated and controlled by a company, whether that's the actual hospital itself, or they're renting out, or they're paying somebody else to keep all of those data. Doesn't matter, as long as you understand that the database of a hospital, or any kind of database, a database of a business, that's being held in a private database. A blockchain is decentralized. Nobody owns that system. It is maintained by nodes. Okay? Nodes are not people. They're actually computers that are owned by people. But the process and systems that maintain the process that runs that blockchain is maintained by computers. Everything is mathematical and everything is digital. So for example, I bought something, for example, I bought a car. That that is going to be, and then I want to put that in the blockchain, for example. For that transaction to be verified, majority of the nodes, so there are thousands and thousands of nodes in a blockchain, will have to verify that transaction. So that transaction has to mathematically make sense for the nodes, for the minimum number of nodes to agree that it's a verified transaction. So that's one of the many steps in the process that were set up to avoid false transactions. Majority of the nodes have to agree. And remember, the nodes are not people, they're computers. So they're programmed to perform a certain task, and you can't pay them to do something that is not supposed to be done there. It's because they don't need your money. They're computers. Okay, now different blockchains have different functions. All right, the most popular of blockchains is actually Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin blockchain, and there's also other blockchains like blockchains for smart contracts, blockchains for sports voting, blockchains for connecting all the different blockchains. That's Polkadot. And then there's the blockchain for decentralized information, which is Tron. Okay, each blockchain, they have their own currency. Think of it like money, right? A country, you have your currency, you have your money. A blockchain, they have their own currency. You cannot, if you want to do something in the blockchain, you can't pay them using your money, your paper money, or we call that fiat currency, the paper money that we have. We can't pay the blockchain using that. They do not understand what that is. Now you need to exchange your money with you need to buy their money. So using your fiat currency, you buy their money. So for example, the Bitcoin blockchain, the currency, the cryptocurrency for that is is Bitcoin. For Ethereum, which is the most popular blockchain for smart contracts, the money for that is Ether. So for you to buy that, you need to go to a crypto exchange. So that's where you buy their money using your fiat currency. Now, once you have that, you can use it to pay for the services of the blockchain. All right. Now, next, while our money is being printed by our central government, so for example, for the US, the Fed, central bank, sorry, for the US, we have the Fed, the Federal Bureau. So the Fed is the one that's actually printing our money. They decide how much to print, when to print, blah, blah, blah. And then different countries have their own central banks, and they're the ones that are actually printing the money of their country. In a blockchain, they don't print the money. There is a system for them to be able to produce a money or a currency, sorry, one currency. So, and there are two ways of doing it. One is proof of work, and then the other is proof of stake. Proof of work is also called mining. Proof of stake is staking. Okay, mining is the one that's known to be not friendly to the environment. Why? Okay, proof of work or mining, that is how Bitcoin, the blockchain, produce more Bitcoin. And what it does is the miners who are also not people, they're also computers, will have to solve mathematical equations, complicated mathematical equations. And whoever it is, whatever computer managed to solve the mathematical equation first or mathematical problem first, they're the ones that computer is the one that will mine Bitcoin. Okay, now since the blockchain is big now, the mathematical problem has become more and more complicated. And because miners are actually computers, they require energy to operate. So that's why a lot of people are saying it's not healthy for the environment, because it's now taking a lot of energy just to solve one mathematical problem, just to be able to produce a new Bitcoin and put it in circulation. Now, there's a layer to that, but I'll leave it at that first. Now, proof of stake is when you actually bet. So you bet you stake your or you stake your currency. Like for example, in Ethereum, if you have Ether, you bet it. There's a minimum bet. Now they've changed it. Now there's a minimum bet. So let's just, for example, say, okay, the minimum bet is 12 Ethers. So I bet my 12 Ethers. And then the system will randomly choose who it is that can verify the transaction, and whoever it is will have new Ethereum. So that's how that's how a cryptocurrency is produced. You either mine or you stake. Either of these two processes, they both use energy, because it's not the person that's mining, but the computer. And for the computer to be able to operate, they need energy. It's just that mining requires more energy because there's a mathematical problem to be solved. In a stake, you're randomly choosing. All right. Now we understand what a blockchain is. Now we understand what a cryptocurrency is. Let us go into the different types of blockchains. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are different types of blockchains. There's a financial blockchain, and that's what Bitcoin is, and it's the most popular cryptocurrency. And then there are blockchains for smart contracts like Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and a whole lot of other smart contracts. There's also blockchain for, I've mentioned this before, like for example, Polkadot. Their role is to connect all other blockchains so that they can talk with each other. And then there's Tron, which is for democratized internet. Okay, so there's a lot more. They all perform different functions. Now, for NFTs, the most relevant, is blockchain for smart contracts. Now let's understand what a smart contract is. A smart contract is a contract that is smart. So a smart contract is an automated way of implementing or executing a contract. So in traditional time, what we have right now, if you, for example, we get into a contract, whatever that contract may be, like for example, if I'm buying a car, so I walk into a car store and then I fill out an application form, and then you check my credit score, you ask for my driver's license, you get my money, I write a check, I give it to you, I wait for everything to be processed, and then you give me a car. Okay, in a blockchain, in a smart contract, I don't even need to be there. And no human will have to even process anything. The blockchain itself will check, okay, so what credit score in the US we need to present a good credit score in order for the bank to loan us money to buy whatever. So let's say the contract states I need to have 650 credit score. Let's say that's what is stated in the contract. And I need to have a driver's license, and I need to have at least 10,000 in the bank and a deposit of 2,000, okay, $2,000. So or let's say 2,500 deposit. Okay, so now it's the system, the blockchain itself, that will check my credit score. I don't have to present it, or no one has to push a button. It's all automated. So it sees, oh, okay, her credit score is actually 700, approved. Okay, so one requirement fulfilled. Second requirement, oh, okay, she actually has 2,500 in her bank. Okay, we'll get that 2,500. Second requirement fulfilled. Third requirement, good, she has the driver's license, it's not expired. It is California driver's license, good to go. Okay, last requirement. Let's just say there's a last requirement. I need to have an insurance, a comprehensive insurance before I get the car. All right. So does she have insurance? Okay, she has insurance. Now everything is done. The system, the blockchain will implement that automatically. So they will transfer the title of the car that I want to my name. Remember, I do not even need to sign it. It's all in the blockchain. And then I say, and then the car rolls over automatically into my front yard. It drives itself. Now, well, if it's a self-driving car, even that can be done. So the car itself will roll itself into my front yard. But because maybe I'm not buying a smart car, then somebody will then the blockchain will then inform the car shop that they can bring the car to my house at this time, at this date. So everything is automated. That's a smart contract. All right, now you can apply that same process in a ownership, right? If there are two people that are trying to, if you have something like a house, it's the same thing. You need 700 credit score, this much money in the bank, whatever other requirements that may be. And so NFTs, I will discuss what an NFT is, are usually put in a smart contract blockchain because it's the blockchain that will initiate all those, the contract that will execute the contract, whoever will eventually own the NFTs. Okay, so that's a blockchain for smart contracts. As I've said, there's a lot of blockchain for smart contracts: Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and a whole lot more. And I think Neo, and a whole lot more. Okay, now what is an NFT? An NFT, or a non-fungible token, is a token you cannot funge. You cannot, a unique item. It has nothing of the same kind. It's one of a kind. And you cannot exchange it with the same item of itself, of the same kind. You cannot exchange it with the same kind. Like if I have $100, for example, and you have $100, we can exchange, and for as long as those are two real $100, we can exchange, and that's fine, right? I still have $100, and you have $100. An NFT is unique. There's nothing anything like it. So I cannot exchange it with the same kind. I can exchange it with a different kind. So for example, if you have an NFT is anything unique, like a song or a painting or whatever. So for example, let's just say you have a dress that I like and you made it and nobody else has it. I want that. Then I can only exchange it with something else, either with money, or I say, okay, I have a glass of water, I'll give you my glass of water in exchange for that dress. All right, so that's what a non-fungible token is. You cannot funge it. Now that can be anything. Like a house is a non-fungible token because there's nothing of its kind. The house that I have is the house that I have, nothing else. It's, this house in this land where I live, that's only one of its kind. A person is a non-fungible token. If you tokenize a person, you shouldn't, but if you tokenize a person, then that's a non-fungible token because that's only one of its kind. All right, okay, so now people put an NFT on the smart contract blockchain because if they want to sell it, which is usually the case, if they want to sell it to somebody else, then the blockchain for smart contracts will be the one to execute the transfer of ownership. The blockchain will also make the NFT a token. So for example, a song is not a token, it's a song, but you can tokenize a song. Tokenizing a song means you are creating a digital representation of the song that's on the blockchain, and that will be put in the blockchain. So if for example, if BTS creates a new song that's titled Pastel, for example, I don't know what the next song is. Let's just say the next title of their song is Pastel and they tokenized it. It's now an NFT. It doesn't mean that I cannot stream it or that I can't make a copy of the song, but there's only one legitimate song, master of the song. There's not going to be there will never be the same of its kind. You can stream it, You can copy it, you can recreate the song, but there's only one legitimate of its kind. So for example, this new song called Pastel, they created an NFT for it. And they said, we're willing to sell it to somebody else. Now, they put it in the Ethereum, for example, they put it in the Ethereum blockchain. So for me to be able to buy it, I need to have Ether. And for me to have Ether, I need to buy Ethers in a cryptocurrency exchange. Coinbase, Binance, these are in the US. Coinbase, Binance, eToro, etc. So I go into the exchange. Now, once it's already in my wallet, then I can use it to pay and buy the new song of BTS called Pastel. It can also be a video or a painting or whatever. Now, for example, now it depends on what kind of mining process, what kind of process the blockchain uses. Is it mining, proof of work, or proof of stake? If it is proof of work, then that is not healthy for the environment. But there's a layer to that. Now, if it is proof of stake, it is more energy efficient. However, even if it is proof of work or mining, if the energy source that they are using is renewable, then it is not harmful for the environment. If you're using fossil fuel, which is the traditional fuel that we have, and it's being produced by Middle Eastern countries, that's harmful for the environment. But if it is renewable, for example, if they use solar system to generate energy and operate all of the computers that mine the cryptocurrency that is being used in that blockchain, then it is not harmful for the environment. So that only means that it will depend on the kind of blockchain that BTS or HYBE or HYBE will be using in their NFTs. It does not automatically mean that producing NFTs is harmful for the environment. It depends on the source of energy being used by the blockchain that they will use. I hope that's clear. All right, so that's the relation of cryptocurrency to the NFTs. For you to buy anything, an NFT, you have to convert your fiat currency or your money into the currency being used by that blockchain. So, and for them to produce more of that cryptocurrency, they either stake or they mine. Okay, so, but remember, it is all about the source of energy being used by the computers mining or staking in order to produce new currencies. But if your argument, if all of these haters' argument is based on that, on the source of energy, you can then say that the entire music industry, or maybe even Hollywood, they're all harmful for the environment, because all the things that they do, every stage of production, either a movie, a TV show, or a song or a concert, they are all using energy in order to create those. And for the longest time, before the surge of call to use renewable energy, we have all been using fossil fuels. And many companies are still using fossil fuels. So if at all, traditional music, traditional movie, TV show, or work of art for that matter, doesn't even have to be song or music or movies, it's just any work of art, are harmful for the environment, because they're all using the process used to produce all the elements to create that art are fossil fuels. Okay, so I hope that clears it. And if you have any other question, I hope all the visuals that I used will be of help to you. And if you have any other question, feel free to ask me. And I do encourage everybody to understand a little bit more about NFTs, about the blockchain, and about cryptocurrencies. It is, I just explained a little bit I just touched on the surface of all of these things, but there's a lot more to it. But it would be beneficial for you to learn the technology. Remember, cryptocurrencies is just one of the many things that blockchain actually does. The real revolutionary technology is actually the blockchain. From the blockchain, there's a lot more that you can do. Okay, I hope that helped. Thanks.